doing? What? Did you just double dip that chip? Excuse me? You double dipped the chip. Double dipped? What are you talking about? You dipped the chip, you took a bite, and you dipped again. So that's like putting your whole mouth right in the dip.
Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. One of the classics from Seinfeld. Now, as we prepare our own social calendars for the myriad of parties, drop-ins, and events over the next month or so, we can all think of the socially awkward people we see, you know, out of the corner of our eyes. We look and smile, perhaps doing absurd things. Here's the deal. We don't want to be that guy, right? Well, that's true. Now, of course, good behavior is what it comes down to, and Gerald Gaslcock from the Southern Institute of Etiquette and Protocol. Gerald, we do not want to be George Costanza in double dipping.
No, and even if you change, you know, turn your chip around on the opposite side,
right?
You know, it's still not right. You know.
Anyway, if that mouth, it's like putting your whole mouth in the bowl, he says.
That's exactly right. You know.
So there are certain things that we really kind of want to be aware of when we go to these parties and drop-ins, right?
Yes, you want to make sure that people remember you for how elegant and delightful you were, and not that they had to help you out the door, you know, or you were the last one, you know, and they just couldn't, you know, get rid of you, and you weren't there to help clean up.
Right. Let me ask you right off the top, because everybody talks about being fashionably late. What is it? If the my cocktail party starts at 8, what time are you going to walk in my door?
I'm going to walk in between 5 after and 8:15, no later than 20 minutes. If you're later than 20 or 30 minutes late, then it's just a sign of being disrespectful.
Okay, because you're right. You throw the party at 8, you want people to arrive at 8. And what about the other side? What about leaving? How long, you know, what's the appropriate time? Because you want to leave them kind of wanting more, right?
That's correct. If you're the last one there and you're just talking and rambling on, then you've stayed way too long.
Right.
You know, when you notice that everyone else is leaving, you know, that's when you need to leave. You know.
How about, when is it appropriate, and this always happens, especially when you're having the nice spinach dip, when is it appropriate to say, you know, a little something in your tooth right here? I mean, no, to your wife or husband, sure, but what if, you know, what if I'm just chatting with you, and I don't really know you necessarily, but you got this big old green leafy thing hanging out of your mouth like that?
Well, it's easy to fix. So you tell them quietly. You know, you don't announce to the whole room, hey, you know, you've got something, you know, hanging.
So it's okay to lean over and go, hey, man, you forgot to, you know, whatever.
Yeah, take it. And you should never do it in public. You should always just excuse yourself and go to the restroom and fix it.
Okay. What about if I spill, you know, I just spoop, and it's not my house and it's on the carpet, and I go, oh, but nobody saw. Do I just take something and put it on the ground, or do I alert my host, or do I just kind of walk away and hope for the best?
No, absolutely. You should alert your host, especially if it's something that might stain, whether it's wine or some kind of juice. Whatever that beverage is, you need to alert the host so that way they can, you know, you can help them clean it up.
Right.
But if it actually stains and they have to get somebody professionally in there, then really you're responsible for that, and you should offer to pay them.
Well, you know what? It's their fault for serving me red wine and having a nice Berber carpet. That's all I say.
Not so much.
Gerald Gaslcock, good behavior, keeping us on the straight and narrow so we don't end up being tweeted about, because that'll happen. You be at a party going, look at this guy. Do we appreciate it. Gerald Gaslcock, the Southern Institute of Etiquette and Protocol, as always. Great behavior tips and whatnot.
Thank you.
Sure do appreciate it. Of course, we'll have that loaded up for you on our YouTube page at MidlandsConnect.com. Still ahead on Good Day Columbia, a front runner in the race for the Oval Office bows out. But what does that mean for the rest of the candidates and the impact on the election? Plus, what about the millions he raised? Turns out he could spend it, but should he be allowed to?